Guys, I'm going to talk to you today about complex numbers, otherwise known as imaginary numbers, and simplifying imaginary numbers. Before I start, I always like to begin by explaining to everyone this can go on your index card too. So make sure you know it because you're going to definitely be able to use this again. So let's talk about this pattern that developed. We went through these numbers and I found out that 12 divided by 4 gave me 3.0. 31 divided by 4 gave me 7.75. I'm concentrating on the decimals. And 9 divided by 4 is 2, gives me 0.25, and 10 gives me 0.5. What does that really mean when we're trying to find I? So what we're really doing when we're trying to find I is we're using this pattern that develops. -1 square rooted is I, or as we call it, an imaginary number. I squared is -1. I to the third is -I. And I to the fourth is 1. Now, don't mind these remainder numbers. I have to go back and fix them. They shouldn't have read that. This is what they should read. If your remainder is 0.25, like it is here, the answer is I. If the remainder is 0.5, like it is for 10, I to the 10th, I to the 10th becomes -1. The pattern develops and it goes over and over and over again. I to the third gives the remainder, but it really is -I because the real remainder is 3. And the real remainder, when you do 4 divided by 4, is 0, no remainder, or 1. This is a whole number. And I told everyone in class, the reason why we do this is because I may ask you, what is I to the 2,736? And you know exactly what to do. You just take out your calculator, go 2,736 divided by 4, and it's even. So the answer, I don't even have to do any math. The answer to the I is 2,736. There was no remainder, so the answer is 1. That's right. The answer is 1. Now, we went on to the next thing we wanted to work on was what happens when we have equations. So the squares in equations was something like this. Before we move on from that, I want to explain the square root of a negative number. So the square root of -25 seems like it's not solvable, but it is. You can separate the -1 and the 25, giving you the square root of -1 and the square root of 25, which is 5 and I. So it's 5I. So the square root of -1 is I. Remember, the I is right there. And then I try to explain, I to the second is really just I times I, which is square root of -1, square root of -1, and the square root of -1 times square root of -1 is the square root of -1 squared. So it's -1. So when it's I squared, all of these rules that we've been learning about multiplying radicals still apply. So let's move on. I to the third is really I to the second times I, which is -1 times I, -I. Let's talk about x squared equals 36. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. The rule is if you add a square root, you do it to both sides. But if you do, you have to also add in a plus or minus. And here's why we do it. When you get the answer is plus or minus the square root of 36. So x equals plus or minus 6. So the answers are -6 and 6. And when you check, could that be possible? Can there be two answers? And the answer is yes. 6 to the second power is 36, and -6 gives you 36. Right, and the square root of, x squared minus 2 equals -11. And when you move it over, you get x squared equals -9. Square root both sides, insert the plus or minus, and you get x equals plus or minus the square root of -9. X equals plus or minus 3i is the final answer.